The NFL is on EA Sports as we come to you from Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Carolina Panthers and the Los Angeles Chargers. Badgley now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
Here we go. 180! Gun. Here we go. Hey, Mark 52.
On 1st and 10, Newton. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A well-executed 22-yard gain. I'm just impressed he held on to that football. You're coming across the middle on the crossing route like that, absorb that contact. Woo.
All we talk about in today's football is trying to get the football away from the offensive player. Sometimes you just can't do that, and you have to finish a play off with a good old-fashioned tackle, as we just saw.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Jatavis Brown there on the tackle.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the 50, Newton. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. And the pressure gets to him again. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over.
At their own 26-yard line.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
2nd and 11 at the 26-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
3rd and short yardage, Rivers. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They're going to run. This is Gordon going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or two. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and it'll be a turnover on downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Thomas Davis.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
20.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, 31 yards. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. Gano the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Panthers 7, Chargers nothing.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw.
And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Cam Newton with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 13-0 is the score after one on EA Sports. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
In your face.
Right there.
Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day on this. It's going to be a long day. Switch.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll try to throw here. Rivers. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Mario Addison. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. He digs him partway out of the hole that they're in. It's an 8-yard gain, and it makes it 3rd and 12.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
To throw is Rivers. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Now a toss. This is McCaffrey. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our and he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Joey Bosa picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Well, he's going to go for it all. He rifles one that's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Following the interception here, Rivers sets up the screen to Gordon.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Let's go, D.
Rivers to throw it. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. Looking deep downfield. This is caught at the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the red zone now, Rivers. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Allen, the intended receiver.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
It's in the game.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Gordon, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
To Gordon, out left. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 15 yards on that one, and a Charger first down. They go play action. Rivers. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by one of the most consistent D linemen in the game, Gerald McCoy.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there, and that's exactly what happened on that play.
The great blocking nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Buying time to his left. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you? And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
20.
A shotgun snap for Newton. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The Panthers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
First down, Panthers.
Look at it.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. 2 times. 2 times.
McCaffrey on the toss right. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, break at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
And it's third down.
They come up in an offset eye. The Panthers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. This is McCaffrey. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns, running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
Extra point try good by Gano. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Hunter Henry brings it in. And they work this well upfield across the 45. He got 29 yards that time.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was looking for Travis Benjamin that time, but it'll be 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
First down, Rivers. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Golden. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So many times we end the game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Gun.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 13 yards, and it keeps the drive moving. This is McCaffrey on the give. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
A gain of 15.
20.
First down.
Throwing here, Newton. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.